in Sriman Bhagavatam for the students. Maharaj. Jai Lila Moikija.
Prabhu and our dear Bhaktiranjan Vasasula Maharaj already here.
Yes.
That's a beautiful, beautiful image.
Yes. Is this I'm reading? Yes.
Very good. Very
Yes.
good.
I think in the last week, Lila Moy is staying in the group of Bhagavad Gita.
He participated. So nice.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, amazing commentaries. Gurutaraj is amazing.
Very nice. Dandava pranams. Good morning, Maharaj.
Okay, I was trying to get a little light on the scene without looking too scary. Dandavat, Dandavat.
Dandava pranams, Maharaj.
Govinda, Govinda. So, I do believe Anukul Chandra Prabhu is with us. Dandavat Anukul Chandra Prabhu with us on Facebook. And I know you know others, Paneshri, because you have mystic eyes. So, dear devotees, we've come together. Jeevana just appeared. She appeared on my screen. Just see. Wonderful. All, okay, devotees are coming together. So, let's give Vandanam. And we'll give Vandanam, then Om Gyan to Guru. Then by the time we get to Vanchakalpatrubhyascha, we may have more with us too. So then we'll have more devotees to give obeisances to, including Udaran Prabhu as well as Jeevana, Gauranataraj, Leelamoy, and Anukul Chandra Prabhu online. All right, dear devotee, and Praneshwari, of course, goes without saying, our mother looking after all the devotees, really very sweet mood for the care of, always caring for everyone. So, Bandeham, Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Pada Kamalang, Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha, Shri Rupam Sagrajatam, Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam, Sadvaitam Sahavadutam, Parijana Sahitan, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Paran, Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vancha Kaupaturubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvijay Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dandavats and welcome to you all. And welcome back to Latvia to Udaran Prabhu. He's been with us. And actually, the last back to basics, Udaran Prabhu heard from his room, the men's dormitory room here in the ashram. So he knows exactly where I'm sitting. I'm sitting outside, but looking east and not yet any sunrise sign, but I'm sitting in the right direction. If the sun comes up, I'll be here to make sure it's here. So actually, it's a very sweet place. Everywhere around Vila Govinda Ashram is actually very sweet, but I try not to disturb the population too much, especially the Vaishnavas. So we are seated here. Oh, I became bright. I don't know how that is. So anyhow, here we are happily at your service. I hope you can still hear me. All right. So indeed, not only greetings, but obeisances to you all. And definitely the theme of the last 24, more than 24 hours perhaps, has been the glorification of the Vaishnavas, the importance of Srila Sanatana Goswami, the Chaturmasya, traditional 4 months of the rainy season, and this theme, which is natural at the beginning of Chaturmasya. And in the USA and in Brazil, still it is yesterday. Okay, I can't say that. I can say I'm in tomorrow and you are in today. Okay, I don't know which sounds better or worse, but because something happens with the world, whatever shape it is, then it's still Wednesday with you, and it is still the first day of Chaturmasya. So if you haven't started something new, it's also a good day to start something new. You've got 54 minutes to begin something. But our theme of the last few days, and Udaran Prabhu certainly knows, and I think Leela Moy maybe knows also, that is, we've been having a festival here of the theme of spiritual recharge. And that means last Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, here's Paramananda Prabhu. Now, if we identify with the body and country, this is now Japanese Paramananda Prabhu, because he's with us from Japan. So, the festival being spiritual recharge, we've all been trying to share with each other, like what recharges us, because we're all individual. And yes, we have the theme that Vaishnava association, Sadhu Sangha, this is really the important essence. And even if we're not able to be physically with the Vaishnavas, associating with them through their words, through their instructions, through the video like this, to have association with the devotees of whom we understand are giving us the truth without any question of like suggesting something and then it's up to our opinion to decide if it's right or wrong. But rather, what did Gurudev and Guru Maharaj give us? They gave us truth as it is. And it is revealed truth, but revealed also through the devotees. In other words, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev. It is a line of revelation that we see even in this world. And what to speak of capturing from the ether the fine substance of what has not been revealed before and then becomes revealed. As we see in the case of Srila Guru Maharaj, his explanation of Gayatri Mantram, etc. And this is, I suppose, one theme for us right now is that of the importance of the devotees and glorifying the devotees and understanding that the devotees are giving us Krishna consciousness. And Krishna consciousness happens to be a very good thing. And I can prove it by reading some words from our gurus. And there's a little excerpt here which surely would make us all want to try to be Krishna conscious. And it's a short excerpt, it's from Srila Guru Maharaj. And oh, I hope I haven't lost it, because as always, no, I haven't lost it. Have I lost it? No, which part was I was going to read to you? Because as you know, we get carried away when we read. And then, oh no, don't tell me. Just give me a second. Okay, I found what I was looking for. We do get carried away when we read, so we lose the part that we wanted to select from. So, oh no, it's jumped again. 1 second. All right, so Srila Guru Maharaj is quoting a verse from Sriman Bhagavatam, and then he's explaining the verse. Now, we have Paramananda Prabhu with us, and this is one of these verses that Paramananda probably has in his pretty vast storehouse of shlokas. But I'll read the verse and the translation, which is like the translation. But then I want to read what Srila Guru Maharaj is saying about the verse. So in my attempt at Sanskrit, Avismriti Krishna Padara Vindayoho Kshinotya Bhadrani Cha Shantanoti Satvasya Shudhing Paramatma Bhakting Jnanang Cha Vijnana Viraga Yuktam. Okay, and the translation is, for one who remembers the lotus feet of Krishna, all inauspiciousness soon disappears and one's good fortune expands. In other words, one becomes free from all material contamination, one attains liberation from repeated birth and death, and one's real spiritual life begins. As one's heart becomes gradually purified, one's devotion for the Lord within the heart awakens, and one realizes the Paramatma. Thus one gradually develops knowledge, jnana, realization, vijnana, and renunciation, vairagya. Now that's the translation of the verse. And now Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, is explaining to us, in these are his words, some glories of Krishna consciousness. All right, so from Srila Guru Maharaj. Krishna consciousness, remembrance of the divine feet of Krishna, Krishna Padara Vindayoho, will dissipate, destroy the abhadra, what is undesirable, what is not good in us. That which is nasty, which is impure within us, will be destroyed by the continuance of Krishna consciousness. In any stage of its development, even in its lower stage, its slightest negligent connection can destroy our undesirable connection with the things of lower nature. And it will promote goodness within us. Sattvasya Shudhim. The substantial character of our existence will be improved. Our soul existence, that will be purified. Our standpoint, our understanding, our aspiration, everything will be purified. And Paramatma Bhaktim, we shall attain devotion, attachment to the super-subjective realm, and our knowledge, our conception about that, jnanam cha, will improve. And that knowledge, the conception about him, capital H, will develop to vijnana, a proper conception, and will effect in us viraga yuktam, apathy to this mundane world. And now, Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, this is all Srila Guru Maharaj speaking, but now, like a new paragraph after explaining this, now he's saying, at any cost, we are to maintain our Krishna consciousness. The advice is, try to maintain Krishna consciousness. It is the medicine. And there is no other medicine which can produce Krishna consciousness, which can cure our disease and discover Krishna consciousness within us. Krishna consciousness is the cause of Krishna consciousness. And we have to get help from the sadhus who have got Krishna consciousness within them. Just as from one candle, another candle may be lit. Anyhow, I really don't know where to stop because I did keep reading, which is why I had to go back to find where I started reading from. But here, Guru Maharaj telling us clearly, right, this is our Krishna consciousness. And so I was reading this the other day when we're looking through about our, making one or two notes in our notebook, as Praneshwari really has, and I have in the modern world of rocket book notebooks. And so I was making a note, and this is one of these points which really, almost only this should make us serious in our attempt in Krishna consciousness. And that's what we're trying to do every day. We're trying to, it's not trying to do as a struggle, but that's what we are doing every day. We're giving ourselves renewed energy. If we've been out doing exercise, all sorts, whatever we've been doing, we get lack of energy, then we become hungry. When we get hungry, then our hunger is relieved by eating, but we feel our energy come back too. So this is our Krishna consciousness process too. We have to keep on putting our energy for our spiritual life. And really, the words and heart of Guru Maharaj and of Gurudev and of Srila Prabhupada and of course Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. These, these directions given by their heart and everything for us, and then they're so valuable, and we need to take this kind of food every day. And those of you who were listening about, well, not quite 24 hours ago, 22 hours ago, were listening to Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj on the occasion of the Vyasa Puja of Srila Bhakti Bimal Avadut Maharaj. He was giving many glorification, but one part, we always, something stays in our mind after we hear something, especially when it's a little graphic. And he was saying about how our Krishna conscious, the medicine of Krishna consciousness is sweet. He said it's not like with forcing medicine into a horse's mouth. And those of you who know a little bit about horses, and unfortunately about cows to some degree, we saw this in Navadip, to give medicine, they tie the legs of the cow, they're just the front legs together, the back legs, they tie together. And then they, Goswami Maharaj is using an example of a horse, but I've seen this with the cows. Okay, so we stick to the horses because we don't like to see anything with the cows. So the front legs of the horse, they tie together. The back legs of the horse, they tie together. Not very tight, but they tie them together. And then they push the horse over. Then the horse has to lie down. And then when the horse is lying down, they push the medicine down his throat because he's got to take the medicine. But like us, he probably doesn't like taking some of the medicines that the doctors or the veterinary. Oh yes, Praneshwari is an English teacher. She veterinary. Anyway, the doctor for animals, the vet, that they push down the throat. So anyway, the point is, Krishna consciousness is not like that. We don't have to find somebody, tie their front feet and back feet and push them over and force the medicine down their throat. We have to explain what is this medicine. It is a very sweet medicine, though in the beginning it may be a little bitter, but as we take it, it will cure us. Anyhow, I thought that our beginning part of our bhakti, back to basics today, then we'll show you this. And I don't know if I mentioned to you, then I'll be quiet. So this is going to, if I'm quiet, it means you have to speak, somebody, and we've got, very capable speakers in each of you. I'm seeing here, in each of you, you can very capably say something. Yes, it's true, every one of you. So the other thing I was going to say, slipped from my mind. Absolutely slipped out of my mind. But it was in relation to our nourishment. It may come back. It's a sign that I should be silent. I should be silent soon rather than later. And I think we should come to Jivana Devi Dasi, who really our senior most devotee here, and you see eternally young, because the connection, what is Krishna consciousness, is waking up the soul, and the soul is eternally young, as is Krishna eternally young. So Jivanadiri, please nourish us, please help us here with breakfast. With some parts of the world, it may be lunch, and with dinner for other parts of the world. So you need, please, to give a fully nourishing, appropriate for everybody, a meal of Krishna Katha. Jivanadiri.
Wow, no pressure.
No pressure at all.
We'll just end up revealing my very ignorant self, but I'm so grateful for the mercy of all of the devotees here. You are all so amazing. And when you think about, what you were saying, how do we recharge ourselves? Sometimes we just think, oh, what would so-and-so do? What would so-and-so do? What did so-and-so say about that? And in that way, some memory can come in some dark times, and just thinking about the devotees, thinking about this Bhakti Basics class that we have, and the different devotees on here, that even though I haven't met a lot of you physically, but I feel like I'm getting to know you just from the Zoom call, which is really, really nice. But so I did sort of have a question, because I'm reading the selected gems at the back of the Prabhupada Jivanamrita, and there's beautiful prayers that Guru Maharaj has written, and he has this one. There's at least 3 for Bhaktisiddhanta here, and one of them he wrote after Srila Bhaktisiddhanta had departed, and he has at the end of each verse, he says this: "O Dina Dayana, wherever that great soul may be, please quickly take this servitor there to him." This is called the Sri Sri Daicha Dasa Dasakam. I'm sure you're familiar with that one. So I did have a question, because it sounds like he's addressing, like Guru Maharaj is addressing some Dina Dayana, which I thought was Bhaktisiddhanta, but maybe not, because he's praying to Dina Dayana to please take me to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. That's how I understood it. But I was wondering if you could just clarify that a little bit.
Okay, so I'm actually just going to find it here. And in the meantime, I think for these Sanskrit expressions that Paramananda Prabhu will be our best man here to give us some commentary, because probably he can help us immediately with this. So Paramananda Prabhu, would you like to
Maharaj, I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, that is for sure.
Okay, but
there is an explanation of Guru Maharaj about Dina and Doyal. This is what it comes to. The one who is fallen and hopeless and helpless, and one who is Doyal. One is Dina, another is Doyal, who is unconditionally merciful. And really, who else is he praying to but to the lotus feet of his divine master? And you may say, you can also pray to Krishna for that. But what is your connection with Krishna, if not for Vaishnava? So it is, from what I remember, it is obviously a prayer to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the embodiment of mercy. And that will be in line with Srila Guru Maharaj's thought. Maharaj, did you get it?
Oh, yes. And actually the word here, and I did hear it properly, and I was trying to understand, like, what is the word? Actually, not Dina Dayal, but Dina Nayana.
Oh, Dina Nayana.
And
Dina
here,
Nayana.
Yeah. In the
can you read it?
Right. In the translation, here we have, oh my sorrowful eyes, Dina Nayan, my sorrowful eyes. And then separately in brackets, or, O Savior of the fallen, Dina Nayan. And I can't give a comment of, I don't know, Jivana, how it is both ways, but we can understand it is both ways. And
But can you read the whole sentence, Maharaj? How does it end?
wherever,
line.
oh, you want Sanskrit or English?
Both?
Well, it's yatra, so, where are we?
That's
But
it.
where,
That's the
but
last one.
where's, the last line is there, but, oh, it says Kṛṣṇa Nayana here. Oh, it's got Nayana on different lines.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu, I'm going to read you the whole thing and then we'll see. I don't actually see Dina Nayan as such in the text, which is going to add a little extra. But here we've got Nayana on 3 different lines, and there are 4 lines of the song, of the composition. And so I'm reading from the very first verse of Shishi Dayita Dasa Dashaka. So I'll read slowly and as best as I can. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, and Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Nite Jasmin Nishante Nayan Jala Bharai Snata Gatravudanan Uchchaya Utkroshatang Shri Vrishakapi Sutaya Diraya Sviya Goshtim Prithvi Garhang Prithvi Gadhandhakaraya Hrita Nayana Manivavrita Jaina Hina Yatra Sautatra Shigram Kripanya Nayana He Niyatang Kinkaro Yang. That's quite a verse. Sanskrit is amazing. I mean, just to read Sanskrit, it's very tricky. What to speak of everything else. So, just having read that, the actual word Dina Nayan doesn't come in the text as such. Okay, what was your question, Jeevana?
Well, I didn't mean to cause a complicated question. I just was wondering, because the last line of every verse is Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, "Oh, Dina Nayana," like he's addressing Dina Nayana. So I was wondering, is that Dina Nayana, is that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta? So he says, "Oh, Dina Nayana, wherever that great soul may be, please quickly take the servitor there."
Oh, right, I understand.
So
who is he calling to? Is he calling to Krishna?
There is, Maharaj, there is a similar ending in Sri Rupa Goswami Chaitanya Ashtakam, in Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Sachi Sunam Ashtakam, Sachi Suna Kimmena Yana Sharanim Yasyati Punam, and they're both very different. He's saying, when will Mahaprabhu, well, the son of Shachi, will come again in front of my eyes? Or also, when my eyes will take shelter of such a wonderful divine personality as the son of Shachi. So many different representation of that, but really at the end it all comes to who is the giver of Nayana, vision, the eyes, the proper eyes. He's saying, my eyes are so fallen. What is the purpose for them if I'm not getting the divine vision of who you are? So Vaishnava is always the giver of that divine vision. And that ending, we can see it in Rupa Goswami's composition, Raghunath Das Goswami's composition, and here's Guru Maharaj's composition, very consistent with that.
Right. Here, yes, so who is Guru Maharaj speaking to? This is the question. There in Rupa Goswami's, he's mentioning Mahaprabhu, like specifically, and here a little more, you can say, generally from our understanding at this point. I'll read you that last line's translation, which comes up in each of the verses. I'll read just the translation through to the end, and it's got lots of brackets, or parentheses and brackets, and parentheses within brackets, all these things, but I'll try my best to read. And this is, oh no, it's 2 sentences. Okay, this is 2 sentences. Bereft of the vision of my divine master, O my sorrowful eyes, Dina Nayan, or savior of the fallen, Dina Nayan, wherever the great soul may be, please quickly take this servitor there. And then in brackets, although he is my master named Nayan, or one who brings us near, in his mercy, these are all small h's, in his mercy, he shows the miserliness of not taking me into his company. Devashishu came up with an expression yesterday or the day before when he was being asked something. Devashish said, "It's above my pay grade." By the
but
way,
also
I'm
Guru
sharing
Maharaj points out Srila Saraswati Thakur's divine form, and it is above the pay grade of my discussion. But yes, so that could be referred to that. But as you know, it's Guru Maharaj and his divine relationship with his master. So Nayana Mani Manjari.
Jivanadidi, it's a prayer.
Yes, and we know it's super auspicious and very wonderful. And it's just almost shocking when you're reading it. It's so beautiful, and there's so much separation of Guru Maharaj for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, and just so beautifully enunciated everywhere throughout it. So that was my great fortune to come across this last night in my reading, and in that way have a little for the occasion of today's Shri Guru Puja, right, for Srila Vyasadeva. And so that was a real amazing prayer to read that I actually hadn't had a chance to really think about before.
And Sanatana Goswami's disappearance. So with appearance day also, it's a disappearance day. And this is very much Gurudev. Guru means disciple to Guru in that mood. That's, Srila Guru Maharaj, a disciple to Guru. Guru Maharaj as a disciple to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, opening his heart and making prayer. And about this, so who is he praying to take me to his association? And it gently reminds me about how Gurudev, as you well know, would say about the will of providence. And this way also, we know the will of providence, which may sound impersonal, but has its personality even within that impersonal feeling that we know the will of providence, it's working around us. So that prayer that, we can understand, we can feel a little bit that we may also sometimes pray, oh, wherever, you are, we just want to be with you. And we sort of some prayer like that. So the personification of the will of providence, the personification of, please take me to there, and then some hand comes and takes us.
Amazing. Yeah.
Divine voice.
Yeah.
Divine voice.
So
Mahaprabhu also followed the divine voice of himself.
And welcome to Sripad Dandi Maharaj. Not only welcome, Dandavat Maharaj. I don't want to fast today, so Dandavat Maharaj. You see, I'm so materialistic. Hare Krishna. By the way, just to say, I have been sharing a room with Devashish for all the time he's been here, which is, when a devotee comes, it's forever. They've been here forever. And unfortunately, when they go, it feels like, oh, they were only here for a blink of an eye. But really, in Navadip, it was like that too. Devotees come and it's like, oh, we're always together. It's wonderful. And anyway, we've been sharing a room with him. And honestly, he comes up with so many British English expressions. And I get sometimes say, Prabhu, I don't know what you're talking about. What does that mean? And then, realize he's very British. And he also, giving a lecture yesterday. I mean, lecture means a beautiful talk, not a lecture, beautiful talk to the devotees. It's his last evening. And he's using an expression of, it's about an expression about, oh, it's, I scratch your back and you scratch mine. And he's trying to give this in relation to the like devotees interaction. And Krishna Kantarid is trying to translate into Italian, you know. Some expressions, they are, you know, they're British expression. I'm not even sure that's an American expression.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is? Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he comes up with things which I haven't heard for 50 years, and I'm trying to understand what he's saying. Anyway, but he's a mine of all sorts of interaction and reflection from the time of Guru Maharaj, the time of Gurudev on the world tours with him, I mean, in London, and he's been also in Italy and Russia and different places with Gurudev. And so I'm very happy that we are able to chat away together, and, you know, informally as well as, you know, with the devotees. So there we are. Yes, Jivana. And by the way, this morning itself, I'm thinking, this is before I turn on any, you know, electrical device or think anything or think about the BBBC or anything like that. I was thinking how it seems like a long time since I read Prapana Jivanamritam, but it's not, but it feels like a long time. And you know how we do listen and read and try to have a book and finish it. It just feels like it's time for me to read Prapana Jivanamritam again. And that's probably, it's a sign, Jivana, you've asked this, because the whole book is a wonderful book and it's so important for us. And we started today with Guru Maharaj explaining that Krishna consciousness, even the most negligent, like the smallest connection with Krishna consciousness, the huge benefit that comes. And again, we're not doing for benefit, but we are, in another sense, we do want to make steps home. We do want to go in the right direction. And Sharanagati, faith, what are the favorable things? What is Sharanagati? All of this is so nicely dealt with. And this is Krishna consciousness, to be conscious of the Lord, to wake up our faithful reliance on the Lord, surrender to the Lord, do things for the Lord, associate with the Lord's devotees, all of these things. So in California, with 21 minutes left of the day for starting something new on Guru Purnima, then I think I'll start reading Prapana Jivanamrita. Hare Krishna. Okay. Anything else, Jivana? Would you like? Have your contribution as well as a question? Your mic.
Yeah, that's good. And you're just reminding me, because you're saying you're going to reread Prapana Jivanamrita, and it reminds me how for so long I would always think, what is surrender? Why are they talking about surrender? What really does surrender mean? And then you pointed out that verse, Bhagavat Bhakti Tat Sarvam, that verse in the first chapter, that it really tells you exactly what it means to, you know, be surrendered, to think of, to be, you know, have no other thoughts, to be governed by the faith that success is all achieved by serving Krishna, and to abandon scriptural injunctions, which I have to think is not really very hard for some of us Westerners, since we don't even know most of them anyway. The easiest part of that verse. But then to always take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord at every time, place, and circumstance. So that's a really beautiful verse. And you pointed it out quite some time ago and told us that we should think about that verse and read it and try to memorize it. But it's like the theme of the whole work.
Jivana, by you pointing out that one verse, really I feel a special kind of joy, because it's Guru Maharaj, it's Guru Dev who pointed it out. Srila Govinda Maharaj, like floodlights in the, you know, the theater or something, the floodlight comes and like focuses on one character in the theater, what's going on. And this Gurudev, like a floodlight, showing this verse and giving such great glorification, which is, of course, substantial. He's not just making up words. He's giving such substantial glorification of this verse. And who is this verse by? It's by Guru Maharaj. It's Srila Guru Maharaj's original verse. And then somehow this is such a wonderful verse that Gurudev has been telling us. And he wants us to kind of understand, focus, and see. And so it brings actually wonderful joy to remember Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and our whole life of devotional life. If there's only one verse you can learn and put it in your heart, learn this verse. And we try, and by the Lord's grace, that verse is ever fresh. By Gurudev's grace, by Guru Maharaj's grace, that verse is ever fresh. Jai Shri Shri Prapana Jivanamritam Ki Jai. And if any of you don't know that verse, please learn it. It's, oh, I forget the reference even. It's chapter 1, maybe verse.
I think it's
question
35.
35, okay.
35.
Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsrijya Vidherapi Kain Karyam Krishna Padaikashayatvam Sharanagati. And we read in Revealed Truth recently, maybe 3 days ago, Srila Gurudev describing that word. Oh, have I woken somebody up? I hear sound. Coming out with a stick to beat me. Okay, anyway. Oh yes, Utsrijya, that Gurudev is explaining this word, this verse, doesn't mean just reject something. Don't just reject it, but like throw it out. Just discard it. It's a nasty thing. It's an ugly thing. Send it away. So again, talking about another verse where this word comes up, then Srila Gurudev was explaining about that word. So we have to just discard all this other stuff and make ourselves simply a heart surrendered soul, and don't worry about anything. When we surrender to our Mother, Father, we don't have to worry about anything. We're not going to go out separately to try to find our food and coat and everything. They look after us. So in other words, about material things, we don't have to worry about anything. But that verse is also indicating not just material things, but about our whole spiritual nourishment is going to be fully there, and our spiritual necessities will be fully there. Just as we need a coat here in the winter. Oh, where will I get a coat? You know, oh, Krishna's giving me a coat. That blue boy playing his flute, he can carry a coat on his arm and give it to us also. But also we can think about, okay, does this mean material necessities? That may be, but the spiritual necessities will all come to us. Everything will come. Thank you, Jivana. Prapana Jivanamritam. Prapana Jivanamritam. By the way, I found, Paraneshri, there's another use for these pens that we write on the rocket book. I can write on the computer without the pad, and I can wipe it off with water afterwards. Which means you don't have to actually have the pad separately. Okay, anyway. Devotional tips. You can use a washable pen to write on your computer, and later you can wipe it off and it doesn't leave a mark. So it's kind of handy. Okay, we need another volunteer because, as I said earlier, really, I'm looking at every one of you. All of you can say something beautiful about Krishna consciousness. And here we are, we're gathered here today to hear about Krishna consciousness from each other.
Maharaj,
Shripad, yes?
Before we do that, can I ask a question? Since you kind of put that seed in my head about
dear.
I scratch your back, you scratch mine. How well, can you comment on that, and how is it related to the fourth verse of Upadeshamritam? Just curious. I'm pretty sure Devashish gave a very good explanation of that.
So the fourth verse of Prapana Jivanamritam, all of Upadeshamritam, all of you know that verse, at least the meaning of it, don't you? Put up your hand if you don't know the meaning. I see, this is more. If I say put up your hand if you do know the meaning. Let's see whether any of our devotees have hands. Okay. Radha Sundari confessed. Nobody else is confessing. So Seva Rupadiri, what? Oh, you have put up your hand. No,
I don't know the proper meaning, Maharaj.
Okay, but you know the translation of the verse.
I can do the parroting.
So everybody else knows the meaning. So I can ask any devotee here. Oh, look, Leelamoy now shaking his head, getting nervous. Okay, Shripad Dandi Maharaj, please tell us the fourth verse, the meaning of the fourth verse of Upadeshamritam. And if you know the Sanskrit, please tell us the Sanskrit. And open your microphone so kindly, thank you.
Fourth verse is Dadati Pratikri. This verse?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes.
Yeah. So it is actually 6 type of loving relationships between devotees. Yes. So we should. Rupa Goswami explains what is love between devotees, and he calculates different signs of this loving relationships exist in devotee society. Rupa Goswami explains that Dadati Pratigrihnati, love between devotees means that first devotees are giving gifts each other, and Pratigrihnati means that devotees accept gifts from other devotees. Ichham Aketi Prichhati means revealing the heart and hearing others, devotees' compassion, their heart. And Bhunkte Bojayate Chaiva means giving prasadam to devotees, feeding devotees Krishna prasadam, and accepting prasadam from other devotees. Shadritham means 6 signs, 6 features of love and relationship between devotees.
Jai. Yes, and I know all the rest of you knew that too, even Leela Moy Prabhu, but he didn't know which the verse was, the number. So we could have given I should have given a better clue. Yes, Shipadandi Maharaj, thank you very much. So receiving gifts and giving in gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence and inquiring confidentially, and giving prasad, receiving prasad, or receiving prasad and giving prasad. So
scratching backs and receiving the scratching of the back.
Yeah, this phrase about I scratch your back, you scratch mine, does, however, and this is also being described, has some idea that, okay, we are going along as a team, but it's not that I'm going to scratch your back so that you will scratch my back. But it is automatically happening that each of the devotees are helping each other. So depending on what we're illustrating, then that expression from the old English shlokas, that expression could be used in different ways, because to me, it does have some indication that I will do that if you will do that to me, which is not what we're doing. We actually want to scratch every devotee's back if they got an itchy back, without any kind of
remuneration.
My back may be scratchy, maybe itchy, but that's not why we're doing that. So anyway, I don't have a deep purport, but but on the other side of it is that the devotee world is reciprocal. It's not a one way. We're not going to the temple to get something, but we are going to the temple and getting something. We're going to the temple to give. Really, a temple is a place for giving. Well, forgiving as one word, but for giving, two words. The place where we go to learn how to give. But what's happening and what is our motive, what's our hope when we go to the temple? That we will get, but what are we praying to get? Some nourishment in our Krishna consciousness. So our life with the devotees, it is reciprocal, but not business-like, not calculative. It is an automatic reciprocation. Some thought like that.
Maharaj, may I ask another question from you?
From me? Well, I was going to say from.
Well, it's
okay.
kind of a personal question for
okay.
you. I mean,
okay.
Since today, I mean, yesterday and today in other parts of the world is the disease of Sanatana Goswami Prabhu.
Yes.
And you know how devotees, they have particular affection for a particular part of Krishna Lila, devotee Lila, Mahaprabhu Lila. So what will be your, we can say, maybe we can say favorite part of Sanatana Goswami Lila that somehow touched your heart, or you got some deep realizations from, or inspired you?
Prabhu, first of all, my deep realizations, doubtful whether that book is very big, and but inspiration from everything. I mean, we were remembering yesterday, and really, we were having, yes, by the way, yesterday, I think everybody in the world had like a wonderful day. I hope you all had a wonderful day for Guru Purnima. But we had here like a very wonderful morning, and like big, very lively, not kirtan standing, but seated, bhajans at the end of the program, coming to the end of the program. And then just after that, I was saying, yes, and today it is a Sankirtan day, because also when Sanatana Goswami, when he disappeared, when he passed away, then we hear that he passed away on that day, which, as we may have mentioned in previous years on Back to Basics, because now we've been running for some years, the Guru Purnima is the biggest day traditionally in Govardhan for the parikrama of Govardhan Hill, with, I mean, countless, but you can guess it's 1 million+ people. It's a lot of people going around Govardhan Hill for more than 24 hours. It's almost like a traffic jam sometimes, or it is a traffic jam sometimes in different places. So anyway, it's the biggest day. But in old times, it was also, for some reason or another, which I don't know, it's like the traditional day in the year. If you're going to go to do Govardhan parikrama, that's like the special day to go. And the Brajabasis and the Vaishnavas, our devotees, means the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they would go to Sanatana Goswami to inaugurate their parikrama. And probably in earlier days, he led them on the whole parikrama. But in the later days, he would start them on their parikrama, and then they would continue, because he was not able to make such a long walk. And I mean, really, it's quite heart-touching that how he passed away was, he passed away chanting his japa. Basically, he's chanting the holy name, he's seated, chanting in the morning, and all the pilgrims came to him, giving his obeisances. They're seeing he's chanting, and they're waiting for him, that he'll lead, he'll finish chanting his japa, like Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj would often, he'd finish chanting his round and then put down the beads, and then he'll give attention to the devotees who are coming. So in a similar way, Sanatana Goswami, he's chanting, and then the devotees are waiting, and then they're waiting and waiting. Then they realize that he left his body at that time when they've all come together. He left his body, And then from like the joy of coming to do Govardhan Parikrama, which is such a joyful Parikrama. From that joyful day, they're coming for this, and then Sanatana Goswami chooses to leave his body at that time. So this like big contrast of the expectation of this wonderful day, and then the disappearance of Sanatana Goswami, and then after so many things, taking his body with Nama Sankirtan from Govardhan to Brindavan by, you know, how they do make, I mean, we didn't see it, obviously, this is 500 years ago, but we can understand it, taking in the stretcher and taking all the way to Brindavan with Nama Sankirtan. And we can think, what kind of a kirtan was that also? Taking Sanatana Goswami's body to Brindavan to lay to rest, to lay in Samadhi, beside, or rather behind, in this case, behind his dear the temple of his dear deity Madana Mohan. So very famous temple, the color guide to Brindavan, which is most devotees use this book as a guide to Brindavan. On the front cover is that very kind of definitive picture or icon, whatever you like, of Brindavan, that everybody, when they see the picture, say, oh yes, Brindavan. It's the that's the temple of Sanatana Goswami, Madana Gopal, Madana Mohan. And behind that temple, that's on the top of the temple's on the top of a hill, and behind, then the devotees who've come to Brindavan, they know that at ground level, I'm not sure, at the bottom of the hill, the foot of the hill, then there is the Samadhi. And so that long journey, the devotees came with Sankirtan, and very beautiful. And devotees are wandering around, but I can't see who they are because I got a light in my face. Oh, Suresh Krishna. Suresh, come and join back to basics live. Here's Suresh Krishna. Come, have a seat. Oh yes, I can offer you a seat. Look, here's a seat.
Okay.
Okay, look, here's we're spooky devotees. Look at us.
Dandavat.
Here's Suresh Krishna. He arrived with his 2 kids and mum. The whole family arrived yesterday evening at Prasadam time in the evening. And so we greeted, we meet and greet, whatever the word is, we meted and greeted. And then they took Prasadam and rested. And maybe it's Suresh. I woke up this morning with my sound, my boo. Hare Krishna. Suresh Krishna, Dandavat, good morning. And look, often you are here. Now you are here live. Instead of on the screen, he's not a holograph. He's physically here in Vila Govinda with his heart, and you are all here with your heart, I know, too. So, Suresh.
Yes.
You've been here not even 12 hours, back to basics, but you have to make a contribution. I'm a sannyasi. I'm a now beggar, so I've come begging for a contribution to back to basics.
So it's very fortunate to.
You can hear? Everybody can hear? Okay,
Yes,
put this in this other ear. Okay, I'll put this in this ear, then the microphone. No, it's okay. It's okay. No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very fortunate to wake up.
Oh, good.
With the divine voice of Srila Madhusudana Maharaj, because I wake up and think, oh, what is the divine voice speaking Harikatha? What is this? Oh, it's Madhusudana Maharaj. And I wake up and go into bed, and now I'm here. Yes, it's very good. So back to basics. It's very good. From Madhusudana Maharaj mouth, lotus mouth. Yes.
He's giving another description of purport. By some could be, he had a bad dream, and in the bad dream was, so he had to get up and chant Krishna's name. And he heard on back to basics that really we should chant the Lord's name in every circumstance. So maybe that's the commentary for this verse.
Just to support Suresh Krishna Prabhu's words,
Okay.
Same thing would
Praneshri
happen
has
to
written
me,
something here.
Maharaj.
I just saw the chat, Praneshri. When he was thus stolen away, this world was plunged into deep. Oh, so this is about the separation composition of Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When he was thus stolen away, this world was plunged into the deep darkness of one whose eyes have been stolen away. Rita, stolen away. Nayana Mani, jewel of the eye. The internal name of Saraswati Thakur is Nayana. And these translations come from somewhere else, I mean, obviously. And this has come from?
Was above
Oh, I
what you
can't,
started
oh, wait,
reading.
oh, we can't hear you, wait. Sorry.
This section was just above the last part you read, Maharaj. Just above, the lines above.
Okay. So that's a little bit of a step back. I mean, a step back in our
Yes.
program today, but I saw it a little bit late. You know, that whole, I think before I read even the Prapana Jivanamrita, I'm going to read that whole composition again and see whether I can give a little, see what comes when we're reading it again in light of Jivana Didi's question. Good, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And with the arrival of Suresh, let's see whether I'm going to damage anything. Look what time it is here. I'm not sure if you can tell. I don't know what you can see. Can you see?
Yes, yes.
The dawn, Maharaj.
Yeah, dawn, and still some stars and a planet you can see over there. So this is... Yeah. This is at perfect time. All right. Oh, so dear devotees, I think that now we'll continue this. I don't know how these programs and many programs, they go so fast, and you see Krishna's turning off the switch on the stars one by one, and it's time.
Somehow you and Suresh are shining brighter than the rising sun, Maharaj. How is that possible?
By modern technology. These are our high-end floodlights.
We all know, Maharaj, it has nothing to do with modern technology.
It's pure effulgence.
Okay, now for all you mysterious devotees who have mysterious vision, and those on Facebook, by the way, Jagamohini Didi is also with us, and Mela Maye Gonzalez.
Meli Mayi is Kalachandi's wife. I forgot her name.
Oh, Maheshwari.
Maheshwari,
yes. Okay, well, long time we didn't meet, but also that seems like yesterday when we were in Govinda Farm in Thailand, and you were there. So very good, happy to have you with us. And Nirupama Devidasi, who I've probably also woken up because she's in one of the upstairs rooms here. So anyway, here we are. Sorry, Nirupama, for waking you up. Actually, she gets up early, and she, not quite now because you can't see the flowers, but she picks flowers and makes garlands early in the morning. She's got a family. She's always doing service. She's doing online classes in English and in Italian. One of the devotees where we hear this example that Guru Maharaj gives about, one person can look after a whole kingdom and have time for recreation with his family, whereas another person may spend all their time just to try to look after the family, and even that they can't do successfully. And Nirupama, she's got her family, and she's got all these other things she's doing, and she does it all, and cooks and serves. I mean, does so many things, and she just seems to fit it all in and appears quite effortless in all these things. And she gets up early. She's one of the early risers here. All right, dear devotees.
Maheshwari is also sending Dandavats to Paramananda, and Tungarasa also just sent a message. Special Dandavats to you.
Tungarasa Dedi, in Norway, early morning for you. And probably in Norway is probably daylight already. Because I noticed, oh, yeah, because the sun is in the north still. I noticed when we were in Hungary, by now it was already light, just by being that, few hundred, I don't know, maybe it's 1,000 kilometers further north. I don't know how many kilometers, but there is a change of time. But here we are in the Brahma Muhurta, or maybe just a little after that, just the sunrise time in Vila Govinda Ashram. So another beautiful morning in Vila Govinda Ashram, starting in a beautiful way, and we'll continue with our devotees as they surface.
Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Maharaj ki Jai.
Now I know it's time to go. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupa Vaga ki Jai. All of the assembled devotees ki Jai, and those who we haven't named specifically, but who we see are also with us, like our Ekadashi Devidasi, Priyanana Devidasi, and Madhavalata Didi. We did mention a little earlier, Madhavalata Didi, of course, welcome. And Udaran Prabhu, we look around for you yesterday in the evening kirtan, and you're not there, and already in Latvia. So missing you already. And Shripad Dandi Maharaj, thank you for your contribution and being with us, just being here happily. Jivana Devidasi, our exalted Jivana Devidasi, Sevarupa Devidasi, who's on her way here very soon by the grace of the Lord. And whoever I've missed out, well, Paramananda Prabhu and Praneshri Devidasi, really pillars of our back to basics. And Radha Sundari giving us a remembrance and connection with Navadip Dham, the most merciful Navadip Dham, which increases in potency in Kali Yuga, whereas other holy places decrease in their potency. Amazing. So Radha Sundari reminding us in this way.
And Maharaj, excuse me to interrupt, the special Dandavat from Rasangi Devidasi. I believe she's in California.
Okay.
Rasangi Devidasi.
And on Facebook, is she?
Yes, on the other Facebook.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so to those of you who are with us live, I mean, it's great. It is great, not only great. I appreciate very much you being with us and very alive here, Suresh Krishna Prabhu. And we're going to catch up on all the news very soon from the Latvia side of the world. And we'll see you all soon. Banchakaupatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavane Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Dandavat, all jais to you all. Have a successful few days until we meet again. Successful Seva days. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you all so much. One by one, everybody. Our obeisances, our appreciation, and more. And more. Hare Krishna. We'll leave you together. Hare Krishna. Have a good time.
Thank you, Maharaj.